Hi there. Want to talk about this book. It's Star Wars, New Jedi Order, Dark Tide 1, Onslaught. Unlike the Young Jedi Knight series that I've posted a couple videos on, this one is aimed at the YA crowd, the young adult crowd. And so it's a more sophisticated read than, let me see, I got one right over here. More sophisticated than this one. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I'm very familiar with these events and a lot of these characters. It does a great job of setting up anybody, whether you're familiar with them or not. This is a great starting point. It does, it is Dark Tide 1. It is part of the New Jedi Order series. It's not necessarily the very start of the series, but it's a good start. And, this is one of those, and I know I've mentioned this before, but it comes up a lot. There's a lot of things that I don't know how to pronounce. Now, that's because I read it, and it wasn't spoken to me, or I didn't see it on TV. I just read it in books, and I didn't have people to talk to about it when I was young. So, one of those is the bad guys in this. The Yuuzhan Vong. Yuuzhan Vong. Yuuzhan Vong. That's what I think they're called. I just call them the YV every time I come across it in the book in my head while I'm reading it. Just call them the YV. But they are a race from outside of the Star Wars galaxy. They've come across a rift that has insulated and protected the known planets. They've come from the unknown regions. And that's where the Chiss comes from, which is Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's a Chiss. And there's other species that they know about, and there are people that have been to the unknown regions and all that. And it's not that those are impossible to get to, but beyond the unknown regions, you have this great rift in space. They call it a hyperspace disturbance that has prevented people from traveling. Well, these guys, the YV, the Yuuzhan Vong, have figured out how to get through that rift, and they've started putting down roots. And they are a technophobic race. They don't like technology, yet they're traveling in space inside of a living organism. And their ships are made out of living things, and their weapons are made out of living things, and their armor's made out of living things. And it's a really cool idea. And they're, excuse me, they're a great bad guy. And the Jedi can't sense them in the Force. And there's a lot you don't understand. And this book, while they do get encountered before this book is the first real solid, tangible encounters that are a lot of our main characters that we know are facing them with, now are facing them down. I lost my sentence there. I'm sorry. This is the first real encounter that a lot of the characters that we know and love are getting to encounter the Yuuzhan Vong with. I think I still messed that sentence up. Moving on. Anakin Skywalker's in it. I like Anakin Skywalker. Luke, Mara Jade. Mara Jade, one of the best females in literary history, as far as I'm concerned. She's a great bad guy. She's a great good guy. She's just a great character. And she is Mara Jade Skywalker by now. They've got to marry her and Luke. But it's a really cool book, and it is aimed at the young adult crowd, so it's more accessible to people than the Young Jedi Knights, people my age at least, or older, or whatever reading level you're at. I got to this reading level pretty quick. When I was young, I was in 7th grade reading young adult literature. I think that a lot of 7th graders are capable of reading young adult literature, and I think a lot of 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 80-year-olds can read young adult literature and enjoy it, and this is one of those that's a great one to enjoy. Thanks. Check out thetalkinggeek.com. I think I'm going to put up a link where people can start buying these books that I'm reviewing in a little bookstore there. So let's try thetalkinggeek.com/bookstore, and I'll try having some links to buy these books. Thanks.